I forgot Harvick got next to him.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
damn near completed the pass.
You just try to hit him.
Which one?
Way to lose it off too, Kevin. All right, here we go. Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And that was like the most piss poor attempt to pull down the track too.
It was never
Like,
going to work.
like he pulled, like he slams on brakes and then doesn't move. Ugh, fuck. Dumbass. Y'all see that shit Tyler Reddick did at Darlington? Roll the thing. Welcome to the Big Motor Small Blade Podcast. I'm heartbroken.
And I'm ecstatic.
Yeah. Southern 500. Wow. That's a hell of a way to end a career right there.
Yeah.
I guess congratulations.
Thank you.
But also fuck you.
Yeah.
Like,
fair.
Yeah. Kyle Larson finally wins the Southern 500. I'm trying to be excited.
No, you're not.
I really am.
You did
It
for
took
about
all the
you
gumption in the world to walk down there to see you at the end of that race.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it in your face.
Yeah. Yeah. So how was it?
Weird. Like
Weird.
Yeah. Like I don't know, it's probably the most reserved celebration I've had in a long time because it's like this should have happened already. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of like when he won the title. I feel like I didn't react enough.
You definitely reacted. I have video evidence.
That's true. I always feel that way. I feel like there's like supposed to be this like big thing and then it's kind of normal for me or whatever. And then I'm like, that was it? That's all I had for that? But yeah. I don't know. I mean, going into 3, I'm like, he's going to fuck it up. He's going to fuck up somehow. And didn't happen. And I'm like, oh my God, he actually just won the Southern 500, baby. The Southern 500. Dude. Yep. All right. So for any of you who haven't followed us for a long time or whatever, long time, 2 years, by the way, 2-year anniversary of the Big Motor Small Blade podcast this week. Yep. So happy birthday to us. And you would know that part of me still lives, probably less now, but part of me still lives at the 2018 Southern 500.
Yep.
I still
confirm.
Still hate Jeffrey Earnhardt to this day.
He brings it up almost every conversation we have.
It's not quite that bad, but yeah, it's not good. And yeah, and it's just been like a theme for a while now where Kyle Larson just gets really close to winning at Darlington and something always happens. And then he won the spring Xfinity race this year. I'm like, maybe the monkey's off?
Dude, and we got so damn excited for that fucking Xfinity race. Like, I was like, I'll be damned if he finally won Darlington. I did that bit for the Garage Guys last year when he ran the 17, and I called it the
White
Kyle
Whale.
Larson's Daytona 500, or Darlington to Kyle Larson is the Daytona 500 to Mark Martin. Like, you just can't win it.
I thought you called it his White Whale.
No, I don't know what that means.
Like Moby Dick, Ahab. No.
Moby Dick's that ride they had out there in front of Atlanta.
That's true. It's based off a book. Which is about
I do know
it's
based off a book. You know, that's Kevin Harvick's favorite book.
I mean, he's like 900 years old, so I can't say that's shocking.
I also just made that up. Like, that's not true at all. I mean, it could be true. I don't know.
Maybe we'll ask him someday. But anyway, then obviously the spring happens this year, and
our first Southern 500, Kyle Larson did pretty damn good too. Didn't he lead a little bit of that in 16?
He finished 3rd in that race. I don't remember how much he led, but I remember he finished 3rd.
Yeah, it was the Southern 500 just in general. We'll get back to you in a minute. The Southern 500 in general, it's just a special race for really just us in general. But like me, it was the first race I went to like with friends instead of like with my mother. And so that was I don't know, it just I was always been a race that I look forward to just for the just it's just an awesome race. Like it's a race I go to, and it's like just the atmosphere of it is just different than all the other races.
Yeah.
And it was the first race me and you went to together.
Yep.
Like in 2016. Like that was, that's like where this for I mean, we were obviously friends, but that's where like the closeness of this, got. And
yeah, that was kind of on a whim
day.
too. We kind of like a month out, we were like, hey, you
Yeah,
want to
you
go to
flipped your
Darlington?
car.
I did just flip my car. Yeah, I had to call you and be like, I think we're good, but we'll have to see. It ended up being fine, but it was like, what was it, like a month and a half out, and we were just on the phone like, hey, do you want to go to Darlington? I was like, I've never been to Darlington. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, it was like I went in 15. Like I went in 2008. That was the first one I went to. And I've been to Darlington like to a Busch race before that. And when they brought it back to Labor Day, I was like, I have to be there. I absolutely like just have to be there. And like I almost didn't go because my ride fell through. Like it was this whole thing. And it is that white whale. I don't know if I use that term right. It's just
not really.
I don't know. It's the Southern 500. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing more you can say about it.
Darlington is the track for me where I liked Darlington before I went, but you never fully appreciate Darlington until you go.
Yeah.
And ever since I went, it's been absolutely my favorite track.
It was another racetrack to me, and it is if you want to see a race car driver just on full display, go to Darlington and you'll see everything that's cool about NASCAR.
And I think genuinely there's something so cinematic about the day to night transition at Darlington. It just feels so, just that the way that track looks at sunset and dusk is just so cinematic and vintage.
Yeah.
The way they race, just the look of everything. It's something you have to experience. It doesn't really show up on TV.
Coming of age. That's what I was trying to say earlier. It's a coming of age track for me.
Yeah. It's fair.
Yeah.
And it's one of those tracks where we absolutely should be going twice, as we've discovered by driving through the not downtown area, but the area closest to the racetrack. Significantly more built up than it was, 3 years ago?
Even more than that. Like I remember driving through, I got detoured through downtown Darlington when I was dating some girl that lived in Columbia. And I was on the way back, got detoured through Darlington. There wasn't shit around there. And it has grown up so much since really the pandemic. Like when they added 2 races back, it's shown that the effects of having 2 dates, and I think a lot of it started when they moved it back to Labor Day. I mean, it damn near sold out that year. And like when they did add 2 dates back, I mean, it's accelerated that growth of that community around there. Yeah.
And the concern that always gets brought up is, the big race being affected by having 2. Well, guess what? We had a sold out Southern 500, and we've had pretty good spring attendance.
Yeah.
Since we've gone back to this. So I think that argument's pretty bad. I'm not going to call anybody out. Jordan Bianchi, who will remain nameless.
I watched the 04 Southern 500, and it's just crazy to hear Shaun White get out there, give the command to start engines, and say, join me in giving the command for the final Southern 500. And it's like, what the hell were we doing?
Yeah.
Like, And I mean, obviously it, got moved to May and then
Wasn't called that for a while.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it was always Darlington. And here we are again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier.
Back to your Kyle Larson spiel.
I don't know. I don't have any more about Kyle Larson. I don't think it's settled in entirely. Like, I still kind of think that I'm going to wake up and go watch Denny Hamlin win the race.
Yeah.
Partially. Yeah. But
yeah. I mean,
I don't know. This was the big one to me. If Kyle never wins a big race in his career again, then I'll be okay with it. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think it's safe to say it's as big as the Daytona 500 or championship for you, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe not championship, but it's as big as it can be for a single day event.
Yeah, it's the biggest single day thing for me. Like, if we go to Daytona next year and Kyle finds a way to win, great. It's not the Southern 500.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, you can, I mean, 21, it came so damn close. Like, it's just, it's been, obviously he hasn't been racing 20 years or something stupid like that. But, he has been so close. And for you, I know that's all you've talked about is Kyle Larson winning the Southern 500. So,
I mean, that was even a joke when at the end of 21, you were like, this has got to be the perfect season for you. Oh, nope, never mind. He didn't win the Southern 500. And I was like, yeah, you're right. He didn't win the Southern 500.
I think the direct quote leaving that the 21 Southern 500 was, Kyle can win. If I had the option of Kyle winning 19 races in 2022 or just the Southern 500, I'd choose the 19 races, but it'd be close.
Yeah, it would be very close.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool race. Wish I could have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That was fucking annoying. Do we want to just jump right into that? We want to get into was this a good race? Or we'll do that at the end.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess let's talk about the thing. Let's go straight from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. I'm not mad, I'm just heartbroken. Like, no, you're just pretty straight mad. Up. I'm pissed, that's for sure. But I'm more heartbroken than anything. I mean, fucking hell, man. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, like, actually, I can't complain. But I've seen Harvick win 10 times in person. And obviously every one of those has been special. I've seen him win the Southern 500 in person. But obviously 9 races to go in his whole fucking career. I've been pulling for the man 20 years. And like, I watched him go. I watched him in a matter of 2.5 seconds go from winning the Southern 500 to losing the Southern 500. It's like I said, just heartbreaking. It's like for me, not to get like too like down the rabbit hole or personal about it, but like, I think I share the sentiment of, a lot of people out there that, yes, it's just a car race and it's just a guy driving a car, but it's something that you take with you in your day to day. Like, what is like ever since your first love really in life when you're a kid is if you love a sport, it's whatever team you pull for. And, NASCAR, it's whatever driver, like, and it's, Kevin Harvick for me ever since I was 7 years old. Right. And so I'm going off on a tangent, but like it's something, like I said, it's something you take with you in your day-to-day life. It affects your moods. It affects, everything in life. If, whether I'm not getting too deep into that, but so when it's, how do I describe it? So when I say like it's just heartbreaking, it's it's just a kick in the nuts, dude. Like you go the whole season and you've had looks at a win, but nothing quite like this. And it's the fucking Southern 500. And I'm sitting there watching it right in front of me. I was sitting directly lined up with the damn timing or the timing light for pit road. And it just terrible, like I said, it's a hell of a way to end a career. Yeah, it's not over, but I ain't optimistic about shit.
Well, I think it's good to not be terribly optimistic, but I feel like there are several more tracks they will run good at.
There definitely is, but it's a hard damn sport.
Yeah.
Hard damn thing to do is win Cup Series races. And I harp on it all the time that Kyle Larson's the greatest race car driver of all time. Not true. Kevin Harvick is the greatest race car driver of all time. Or maybe not all time in the world. Why? Because he takes a fucking 25th place car every fucking week and runs top 10 with it. Like, it is absurd. Like, he got back in the pack after that penalty and just sat there. The fucking car can't do a damn thing when you're mired back because they fucking build them with damn Tonka toys. Like, they're terrible, dude. Those cars are so fucking terrible. Like, and it just makes me appreciate how fucking good Kevin Harvick. I told you this on the ride home. He hasn't been in top tier equipment except for a couple years in his career. He has carried it for 20 plus years, and it's, I don't know, just frustrating as hell to see someone of that caliber have to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I largely agree, but
yeah. Getting into the actual incident. So, Tyler Reddick, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, I don't. There's no excuse for it.
I mean, it was. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say about that. It was just stupid.
Wasn't even close.
Dumb. Was not even close. Kevin pulled down onto the apron. I jumped up. I'm like, he just won the fucking Southern 500 right there. Yeah. Right there.
Well, okay, this is SHR4 team, so they could have fucked up the pit stop.
That's true. That's very, yeah. But I knew, barring, a bad pit stop, that was the race right there. He's gonna get the undercut. He's gonna pass him. And I saw Reddick checking up, and Reddick had been terrible the last 5 laps of that run. Like, and I thought he just got loose. Yeah. I straight up just thought he got loose. And Ryan Newman spins. I lose my damn mind. I'm like, Ryan Newman, you're fucking useless. He's still useless. Let's be very clear.
We'll get into Ryan Newman a little more later.
But just, I mean, what did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like, I mean like, we saw
laterally, what was he, like 100 fucking feet from the commitment line?
Dude, I mean, and that's the thing that pisses me off the most. He jams on the fucking brakes and makes zero attempt to get down the racetrack.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because
it wasn't possible.
It was impossible. Like, you have to be smarter about that. Like, you have to identify, nah, dude, I've missed it. It's like, you made the call too late. Yeah. Like, Billy Scott, you made one of your notoriously bad pit calls again. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me. It's Christopher Bell level. You're too good of a driver to make these dumb fucking mistakes. I don't know. Like, it was. I mean, I don't know why the 4 team pitted. Didn't really make a difference. I mean, they weren't gonna win the race. I mean, playoffs be damned. I don't think anybody on that team gives a hot fuck about winning the damn championship. I think they just want to win a race. And so say what you want about him pitting, not pitting, rolling through, whatever. It doesn't really make a make a difference. It's not the win in the Southern 500. It wasn't going to be. That ended when Tyler Reddick stopped in turn 3. Like,
yeah. I mean, maybe I think we need to look into finding a way to make that a penalty. I mean, technically by the letter of the law, I guess it's not currently. I don't really know how if you stop.
The least the son of a bitch could have done is gone out and won the race. I mean, dude, you lost the damn race still. Like, you did all that to lose. Like, I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Well, even at that point, they were still going to get beat by the Ford at pit road. So, like, the best thing they could have done would to be put in the best in lap they could, come down, nail the pit stop, which hit or miss, but when they do hit, they've been pretty fast this year, and then get a monster out lap. They still had a shot.
It's a 50-50 shot. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot that team has a good pit stop or the Ford team has a good pit stop or either or have a bad pit stop.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could beat them. You could get a better entry like that. I've seen a lot of pit road entries at Darlington. Kevin Harvick's coming down pit road. That wasn't the best one I've seen in my life. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I mean,
hell, they could have both gotten beat by the 5 or 24 just based off how Hendrick Motorsports says. You never know, but you definitely don't give yourself a shot. Like, I mean, obviously it worked out for Reddick, except that they didn't win the race off pit road. Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of amazing he didn't get spun out. I mean, Newman did a fantastic job staying off him, to be honest. That's probably the only decent bit of driving Ryan Newman did all day. But I say that. But I mean, it doesn't make sense strategically for yourself, and it's also just it's fucking everyone else over, and it's really stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's just sheer lack of respect for anyone. I mean, we saw Ryan Newman was it Ryan Newman or Boyer that hit who in 18?
I think Newman hit Boyer.
Yeah, just pile drive Clint Boyer in the middle. One of the worst wrecks I've seen, like, in front of my eyes. And I mean, like,
and that was similar because Boyer was trying to pit
from
the outside.
It was the same damn thing. Yeah. I mean, it literally, he could have. That's the thing. It's like, we don't know how. I mean, who's to say these damn rear end shots, they're still not great. Yeah. I mean, you stop in the middle of the fucking, god damn it, Happy. Damn it. Fucking clawing my damn knee. I mean, who's to say you stop in the middle of the racetrack, someone's going to pile drive into the back of you, then you're out for the next week. Because you got, I mean, just ass packed in the middle of the corner. And, like, nothing about it made any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
top 3 or 5 dumbest things I've seen at the racetrack.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess technically you can argue it worked, but they still lost. So
it did not work.
No.
I mean, if their objective was to solely fuck over the 4 car, then yes, it worked. I mean, it was, dude, that was just. I watched it right in front of my eyes. Like, I sat there, saw Newman spin, and I saw the light come on, and I was like, he really just fucking missed it. He really didn't make it. All right. Fucking awesome. Thanks, Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's damn Cup drivers doing Bush League shit that's costing Kevin Harvick these wins. So appreciate that.
Yeah, at least twice this year, for sure.
3 times. I mean, you could hardly call
not
the
really.
78 team a fucking Cup team, but
yeah, but that's not a Cup driver doing Bush League things.
Yeah, well, it was a quote unquote Cup team leaving a wheel loose. So
I mean, we've seen a lot of those.
Yeah, well, they picked a hell of a time to do it.
Always a hell of a time to leave me a loose wheel. Yeah. Danny Hamlin knows all about that. Apparently.
Yeah, that was comical.
I'd love to know if it was actually loose or not, because they were disagreeing about that.
It was. They went back and looked at it. It was
okay.
Slightly loose. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Denny dominated the race. I mean, he was gonna win.
He was absolutely gonna win.
Yeah, but don't beat yourself. I mean,
Exactly.
simple as that. Going from one stupid thing involving people I like to another stupid thing involving people I like. Alex Bowman and Daniel Suarez are both fucking idiots. That's the conclusion I've come to.
That's a stupid conclusion.
I mean, it's the conclusion.
Alex Bowman wrecked himself.
Alex Bowman did not wreck himself.
He absolutely wrecked himself.
He definitely didn't do himself any favors, but Suarez finished him off for nothing to do but to end his own race too. Like they're both stupid. You
don't get 2 blocks entering the corner. You just don't.
I mean, he blocked, but he didn't commit to the block, and Suarez turned him. Like
he didn't turn him until they were on the wall.
It's not true at all.
That is what I've watched it 100 times. That's exactly what happened.
It's just, I don't know. It's just dumb. Like, I mean, Suarez even admitted that, you can't make 3 blocks, and he admitted he wrecked him. Like,
well, yeah, he made contact with him, but it wasn't like he hooked him.
I mean, it was pretty clear he hooked him.
Okay, it's clear that you have not seen the incident that I saw.
Yeah. Either way, it's just unnecessary. Like, both of you guys missed the damn playoffs, and you're having a hell of a day. I mean, you're running 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th, or whatever the hell they were running at the time, and you just wreck yourselves for nothing to do. Like, just asinine.
I mean, that's fair, but
yeah, I mean, I don't really know what either of them were thinking. I don't know what the hell Travis Mack is thinking. Like, he's about the dumbest son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's certainly not cool to make a fucking concussion joke.
Yeah.
And then not even own it and edit the tweet.
The tweet, yeah. At least own the fact that you flipped him off. I don't know if that happened or not, but I mean,
I'd love to know if it actually did happen or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Both of them, it's something we've talked about recently. At both of them at their peak, they're damn good race car drivers. They're top 10 drivers in the Cup Series. But at their valleys, they're fucking Bush League level drivers, and it's just you never know what you're going to get with those two.
I mean, that's kind of the difference between an A-level elite driver and a B-level driver.
Yeah.
Just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. Other than that, the lights went out.
I want to shit on Ryan Newman real quick.
Okay.
My dude, you're like 1 or 2 laps down. Get out of the fucking way. Like, I was sitting there pulling for Harvick to reel in Reddick and win the race, but holy shit. At the same time, I was like, Reddick, send his ass. And he wound up doing it. It just wasn't, not in the way I was hoping it would happen. But yeah, Ryan Newman just drives. Like I tweeted, Ryan Newman is a nuisance for just the simple sake of it.
Yeah.
There's no reason for Ryan Newman in the 51 Rick Ware car to be running like that. It's a joke. Just
driving his damn heart out for 50th.
I don't get it, dude. Race some fucking leaders with a little fucking respect. Like, I'm sorry. It's already hard enough to pass in this car.
Yeah. I mean,
same goes for Ross Chastain when he was lapped down too.
Ross was, like here's
in
the thing.
In fairness to Ross, at least he was able to keep some track position made up and got a top 5 out of it. But
and at least he's fighting for something.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Newman's not, they're not fighting for much out there. Like you said, it's just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, dude, you hang it up. Like,
I did kind of think Kyle Larson was going to send Ross Chastain there in the first stage.
Yeah.
I think he tried to a little bit.
Yeah, well, he about wrecked himself there that one time.
Yeah. But
the lights went out.
They did.
That was quite. I don't know why no one has said this. Do you think it could have anything to do with the damn hurricane that went through South Carolina this past week. Like everyone's like, "Oh, that's a bad look on Darlington." What? Like I don't know what to tell you. That was, I mean, they were out forever. Like no one noticed it.
They never really turned on down there.
No. Well, yeah, they never turned on. That was like.
So it wasn't. I think that's the reason it wasn't as noticeable to everybody right away. Is just because like we kind of got the sun setting, and that's just kind of the way it was, and you don't notice it right away. Yeah. I didn't think much of it. I was like, it's a little dark down there, isn't it? And then they finally right before the caution came out, I'm like, man, that's pretty dark.
Yeah, they asked Kyle on the radio. They're like, "How is it?" He's like, "Oh, I haven't even noticed it until now." I'm like, "Yeah, wait, you asked the guy who runs dirt tracks that is lit by nothing but a fucking nightlight." Like, I mean, of course he didn't make a shit to him. Like, yeah, I don't know. That would have been a hell of a way to call it.
Oh, dude, as soon as I got on Twitter, people were like, "Oh, it's past halfway. Watch him call it." I was like, "Dude, I swear to God."
Yeah, that would be a crock of shit if they would have called it.
I would have been significantly irked.
Yeah. Did you hear the radio communication that Cliff Daniels and Kyle had like the last like 40, 50 laps?
Yeah, the one you retweeted or whatever, reposted. Sorry.
It's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's
incredible, dude.
It's what makes them so dangerous.
They are like I said, Kyle Larson will run through a brick wall to win a championship for Cliff and that team.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody would. I mean, it is, and that's the thing. I feel like last year, you didn't, for whatever reason, you heard it at the 600. They had that, obviously, the infamous, first half and second half of the Coke 600 last year. That was ruined by Chase Briscoe. But yeah, other than that, you didn't hear the same. It didn't seem like the same team that they had in 21. And this year, it seems like they've kind of gotten back to that. It seems like they are back in that mode of just their own kill.
Yeah.
And it's damn impressive to watch.
It is kind of like we talked about last week. How I thought it was entirely possible they'd come in here and commence Operation Teabagging. While they didn't quite have the speed to fully do that, they're firing on all cylinders on every other
Southern
front.
500 is one of those races, dude. You don't have to have the best car. Yep. You just have to grind it out. Like, I mean, you look at Harvick. Harvick was running sixth. Got up to about, sixth-ish. Then get to fifth. They'd lose 2 spots. He'd get back to fifth. And the next run, he'd get the fourth. And it's just, he grinded away at it. And it's the same thing. Like, I mean, you are never out of the Southern 500. If you're in the top 5, 6, you're not out of it. Because it's just that type of race that the old DW saying, you can't beat yourself. And so many times we see it every year in the Southern 500. Drivers, they beat themselves. And it's a test. It's still the ultimate test of race car, driver, and team that there is in the sport. And that it's a championship level race to win. And like I said last week too, like I said, it reminds me a whole lot of a Jimmy Johnson summer run from the mid 2000s. They screw off for a while. The playoffs start and they're on kill. And I know it's only one race, but it was a damn impressive one.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if they went into Bristol and won.
Or Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, they could sweep this round. It wouldn't be shocking to me.
They could win all 10.
In theory. Yeah. No, they can't. Talladega's in there.
Dude, I saw Kyle Larson win Martinsville earlier this year. Anything's damn possible.
Yeah, if Kyle were to win Martinsville, the Southern 500, and Talladega in the same season, we might be looking at an apocalyptic event. I don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have Chase hell has frozen over if that happened.
Hell has frozen, refrozen, and refrozen again over.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, getting into the playoff grid, obviously Kyle Larson advances with a win. Byron up 45. That was another team they just grinded away at it. He was nowhere. He was back half of the top 20 in their first stage and ended up finishing third or fourth. Reddick gained a few gained some points on the cut line. Busher finished third. I mean, just continuing to prove like they're somebody I think nobody can overlook right now.
Thought for half a second he was going to win the race.
I kind of thought he was too. I'm sitting there. I was thinking there when Larson and Reddick were getting after it. I was like, Chris Busher's he's gonna damn win this damn race.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, they're good everywhere. I mean, there isn't a track out there that Chris Busher cannot win at.
Yeah.
And he'd be second in the points right now.
And Winston Cup.
Yeah, and Winston Cup. He'd be second. Like, put that on your damn bingo card. Danny Hamlin gave up some points with the loose wheel. Truex, they were terrible. I mean, they were god awful. I thought they were gonna have it. I really thought Toyota was just gonna be better in this race.
Yeah, and it's really weird too, considering how good Hamlin and Reddick were. The other ones were just out to lunch.
Bell kind of took himself out of it, but
it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that? They switched the pit crews, and they have a terrible first stop, and then Bell biffs it in 3 and 4. Like, I mean,
yeah.
So much for that. Kyle Busch. I mean,
ran okay tonight.
Yeah, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney. They all kind of just maintained ish. Ross,
treaded water.
Yeah, exactly. Ross Chastain, it was looking rough there. He was a lap down at one point, ended up top 5. That was shocking, honestly, to me. Like I thought, at the beginning of this race, I was like, here we go. I was like, this is exactly what I was worried about with that team, and they're above the cut line. Joey, exactly what I expected, just mid. Bell, we just talked about. Bubba Wallace, -1. He had a great race.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, gave up a stage point in the first stage by spinning out. But yeah, I mean, a real good effort by that team in a race that they easily, with that spin, I mean, they could have just gotten their head out of it right there, and they kept grinding. Harvick miraculously gained points on the cut line. He's -2. And then Stenhouse and McDowell, kind of about what I thought was going to happen. Stenhouse didn't lose it as much as McDowell. McDowell wrecked, obviously. So I think that, barring a miracle on ice, I don't think Michael McDowell is going to go to the next round.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone else is still in play.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've seen how good like Ricky Stenhouse at 47 can be at Bristol.
Yeah.
Harvick has been very good at Bristol the past 3 seasons at least. Bubba Wallace could go out and win Kansas. That would not be shocking.
Yeah.
Obviously Bell, Logano, Chastain, they're all capable of winning. So yeah, it's wide open.
It's up in there. And even like I mean, we said it before when the bubble was talking about the bubble, to make it, it's a whole lot easier to lose points than it is to gain points. 45 points for Byron. I mean, I don't see it out of that team. They've been, I think they're kind of on the same strategy as the 5. But I mean, you have a bad race, 45 points can go away pretty quick. And so, I mean, it is pretty wide open right now. Especially once you get to as inconsistent as the 8 car has been, seventh on down. I mean, it's wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, going anything else about Darlington? Oh, was Darlington a good race? Almost forgot.
It was better.
Yeah.
I felt. I think we talked about this last night. I felt like it was better. It's still a very clean air is king kind of race currently. Yeah. I saw some complaining, which of course it's NASCAR fans are going to find something to complain about. I did see some complaining about how you can get in the wall and be fine now. I thought that was like the whole like selling point of the next gen car.
That was vintage, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was awesome.
I mean, like we saw the 5 and the 45, the last run of the race, basically placed the right rear right on the wall. I mean, scraping upon it. Yeah. I think I texted you at some point. I said it's a subtle art of ripping the wall.
It is.
That's what it is.
Well, dude, that's the thing. Like back in like the 70s and 80s, like that was what you did at Darlington. You go in the corner and it was kind of your pivot point. Once you got the right rear on the wall, that was your pivot point to go.
Yeah.
In the center of the corner. And I enjoyed watching that because you could see it was how close can you get without touching it? And if you do touch it, how much can you touch it without losing time? Because there was, like you said, it was a subtle art. Like, I mean, you could hit it and it wouldn't affect you at all. But it was, a razor thin edge. And that was one of the coolest parts of the race to me.
Yeah. And that's the best, by the way, plug. That's the best part about sitting over in turn 4 at Darlington.
Yes.
That's the best place to get that view.
Yes.
It is just the best place to get that view, and it has not ceased to amaze me yet.
No, yeah, in any car really.
Yeah.
Even last year when the racing was not as that in like 2019 and 20 when the racing wasn't as desired as it has been at Darlington, it's still just a spectacle.
Yeah.
I think where it was better than last year. Like I said, we've had this debate a lot. I thought the last year's race was good. You did not. But I will agree with you that the racing was not as good. It was more the entertainment factor that I thought was compelling. This year, it definitely seemed like it was better. Like there was more options for guys than I feel like there was last year. I think, tire fall off. If there was more tire fall off,
yeah,
I think we could almost get by without the extra horsepower or the less downforce. Because, I mean, there was only a second and a half of fall off. I mean, Darlington, there's normally 3 seconds of fall off.
Yeah.
And so if we could get back to that, I think it would make a huge difference.
Well, and also, so I was worried about this race because in the spring, it was like 93 degrees and in the middle of the sunlight, and it still took about 30 laps for tire fall off to really become a factor in the race.
Yeah.
And so I was really concerned about this race.
It's kind of the same, it looked like to me.
It was kind of the same, but it didn't feel like everyone was as stuck. Definitely at the front it was still. But like in the pack, it didn't feel like it maybe during the day it probably got worse as the night went on. But just a little. But I don't know. I feel like if we add softer tire, I would love to see higher horsepower here.
Yeah, of course.
With these cars. I mean, just that combination of being able to rip the wall, but having to have all that throttle play in it. Oh, dude, it'd be phenomenal. It would absolutely be phenomenal.
I'd be screaming without the S.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely thought there was definitely a point in every run where it seemed like, at least to me, that there was kind of that light switch moment of, okay, the tires have reached that point to where the drop off went from, a tenth here, a tenth there to 2. Okay, now it's multiple tenths, and now it's like it's who has conserved the tire the most is, the cream is rising to the top. And I mean, it was kind of a light switch because it would be the same guys that would just cross paths as soon as that lap mark. I don't know exactly what lap it was, but I definitely noticed that in this race. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. It was definitely, like you said, clean air was king. I mean, Tyler Reddick was not passing Kyle Larson at the end of the race.
Not unless he made a mistake, yeah.
Yeah, but I also think that it's to be, it's not to go without saying, like, those cars were very close. And so it wasn't a stark difference in level of car there. It is two drivers who are very good at Darlington and two drivers that have virtually equal car.
Yeah.
So newsflash, it's going to be fucking hard to pass.
Yeah, exactly. But we did see, and to be fair, not to go on and on about Kyle Larson, but it was fun in the first stage to watch him run from 18th to 3rd.
Yeah.
Under green. And to be fair, they were really the only one in the spring that was able to do that too. They came from the back to the front, I think twice. So I wasn't shocked, but it was still very fun to watch.
It was fun to watch Harvick because he was 3rd or 4th. I think he was 4th, and he got by for 3rd, and then he was able to run down and pass Byron, maybe not with ease, but like Jesus Christ, Happy, hello. I know we're talking about Harvick. You want to be in it.
We're busy,
be involved. But it, he could run. He ran down Byron. He didn't hit a wall of air, and he just gets stuck there. He was able to utilize the bottom of the racetrack and really gain a lot of time. And that's something you definitely, I don't feel like, saw last year as much.
Yeah. I feel like, I wonder, so we didn't really change anything. So I'm wondering if just the extra engineering time they've had allowed the teams to widen out the racetrack when we got to the crossover point, I guess we'll call it. Yeah. And you could see it because last year, I remember, I think the final run was like 20 laps or something.
Somewhere, yeah.
Something like that. And I don't ever really remember Eric Jones and Denny Hamlin like ripping the wall toward the end. Like I remember them running around the middle to like the bottom in like 3 and 4 at least. And
I thought they were ripping the wall kind of that entire last run.
Were they?
I feel like you have that back. Well, I could be wrong, but I feel like you have that backwards. I feel like everyone was ripping.
Everyone. Okay, I might have that backwards.
And Denny was trying to because I think I remember Denny trying to use the bottom, and it just wasn't working.
Okay, yeah, I think I think you're right. But yeah, this one we saw where Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick, they were like early in a run, Kyle would dive it in, run to the wall, get a good run off that way. Reddick was overcharging the shit out of the corner, running the top and losing it a bit down the straightaway. And then 10, 15 laps into that run, they're just both ripping the top.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I obviously, even with it being clean air, I'll never get bored watching them rip the top at Darlington. I could do that all day.
And that's the thing. It was like, yeah, they got to the point where they were ripping the top, but I would have liked to seen what Harvick seemed to be able, and he's always been able to do this, run the bottom just about better than anyone at Darlington. I remember the very first Darlington race I ever went to was the 07 Busch race. And I remember watching Harvick in the AutoZone car run the bottom of the truck, like run right on, like almost below the white dotted line.
Yeah.
Better than just about anyone. And that was where he made his living yesterday, was sailing it off in there and just pivoting and going. And he didn't pay the price by sending it in too deep. It was just that was the way his car was working. Last year, yeah, you couldn't do that. And I think obviously last year there was a lot more parity throughout the field, and the playing field from first to 20th was a whole lot tighter. And I think this is Darlington is the prime example of a racetrack that benefits from the wider, wider gap in competition. But even then, if you hit it, you can do it. It's still a driver's racetrack, i.e. Eric Jones.
Yeah.
Eric Jones has been nowhere this year. He's had some good runs lately, but Eric Jones at one point of this race, I thought Eric Jones might win this thing again.
Yeah. It really felt like it.
It is, like I said, even with this car, Darlington still finds a way. Yeah.
I did text my brother halfway through the race. I was like, if Eric Jones wins this fucking race, I swear to God.
Dude, I was like, he got up there and I was like, I noticed in the middle of a run, I was like, is Eric Jones a lap down? And I looked up the pylon, I was like, that son of a bitch is like fucking third. Where the hell did he come from? Oh man,
just grinding it out, man. Just grinding it out.
Yeah. I don't know. Eric Jones finds a way, shows up one time a year. Just not even in the. That's the most mind-boggling. It's not even in the spring, just only in the Southern 500.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to the kind of driver Eric Jones is, though.
Show up for the big event.
I think he's a grinder. I think he's a grinder. Even in the short Darlington race in 2020, he was doing really good, and then he screwed it up. Yep. That's all I got.
Shout outs to Carson Hocevar.
I was about to get there.
Yeah.
We're going into sundress and dumbass, and Carson Hocevar is absolutely my sundress.
Yeah.
Legacy Motor Club, really. Because I mean they showed up, but Carson, I didn't know Carson was there. And that is the exact thing you want out of a guy making his second career Cup start.
Yeah.
So
I knew you were going to pick Carson, and I figured I'd let you have that since you actually picked him.
I did.
So my sundress, I did Ryan Blaney. For a guy who is so historically ass at Darlington, he has got 2 top 10 finishes there this season, and I feel like that's sundress worthy.
Sure.
It's not Carson Hocevar good, but ninth place in both is that's for Ryan Blaney. That is fucking great.
Yeah, I think just not enough can be said about Carr. I mean, he was going to take a Spire car and probably finish top 15, top 20 at Gateway in his first Cup start, and then goes to the hardest racetrack in NASCAR with what seemed to be one of the worst cars in the Cup Series. And he ran top 15, top 20 the entire night. And they didn't use a trick strategy. They didn't do anything special. They just ran the race. And he ran it perfect.
Yeah, I feel like Carson Hocevar's ascension since April is absolutely astounding.
Yeah.
Because after the Martinsville incident, it was pretty much like, okay, how much longer is this guy going to get a ride? He hadn't won anything. He runs everybody over all the time. And now here he is, two truck wins or three? Three truck wins, and has run fantastic in both Cup starts in mid-ass equipment.
Yeah.
I feel like
if you're a team, like even if because no secret, Carson Hocevar is going to Cup next year.
Yeah.
And when I first started hearing those rumors of Carson going to Cup, I was like, oh man, I don't know about this. But it suits him. It suits Carson Hocevar, and it puts it on full display how good he is. And dude, I mean, you look at any Cup team out there, he's gonna make your team better, straight up.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing about like how bad he was, or how just reckless he was in trucks at the beginning. He's gotten a lot of that out of his system in the truck series. It's a lot of times guys don't do that. They taper, they kind of, lack of a better term, pussyfoot around for the, try to gain respect in the truck series. They get to Xfinity and, they get a little bit more balls to them and they get out in front and they start doing a little bit more aggressive, dumb shit. And then they get to the Cup Series and they haven't learned that lesson of how to back down and how to manage a race and manage your emotions. And I feel like Carson has done that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Carson knows where my sundress for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Who's your dumbass?
I went with Travis Mack. Can't be making concussion jokes. It's fucked up.
It was pretty stupid. I
know yours is.
Tyler Reddick and Billy Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler Reddick for this particularly. Billy Scott for coincidentally another Suarez crew chief. He has always been terrible and will forever be terrible. I can't tell you how many times just listening to my mom bitch about how almost every race in 2019, Billy Scott come over the radio at the end of it and be like, "Oh, sorry, Daniel, we made the wrong pit call there." And here we are, 2023. He's at an even better team, and he's still making dumb pit calls. So appreciate that. And the son of a bitch has got 2 first names.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. Who
Picks.
are you picking for Kansas?
I was gonna pick Denny Hamlin.
God damn.
You can have him since I won this week. If you want, I can pick someone else.
I'm gonna pick. I'll pick Larson.
Okay.
Yeah. So
are we still doing the thing where you can only pick them once in one round?
In a round, yeah.
Okay.
Seth picked fuck it. Who was it? Chase Elliott.
Chuck.
And I picked Hocevar. And there was one point in this race I was like, oh my God, Carson Hocevar's gonna beat Chase Elliott.
That was significantly closer than I anticipated it being.
Yes. But yeah.
Shout out to Chase Folsom, who picked Martin Truex, who sucked ass today.
Yeah.
So congrats. You lose.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else to say other than just I'm heartbroken, and I will be heartbroken for a while.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about feeling good about a couple races for Harvick, but one race in particular.
I can think of about 3 he has a shot at off the top of my head.
I realistically think there's about 5 out there that I think he could surprise some people, but there's one that's sticking out in my mind, but it's not quite the Southern 500. So tough way to end like I said, tough way to end a career. Whether he wins or not, career at the Southern at one of my favorite races. Yes, he won it once, but we need to end this before I just keep going on about how upset I am about this whole race.
All right, so this has been the Big Butter Small Blade podcast. He's been Buddy, aka Heartbroken. I've been Seth, aka Ecstatic.
Yes.
And we appreciate y'all listening and watching and whatever you're doing.
Yes,
and,
we do.
We'll be back next week to talk about Kansas.
Kansas.
We'll see how much of the race I actually end up watching. Probably not much.
Oh, all right, cool.
I'm busy. Put it that way. Bye.
Go fuck yourself.